COVID is dangerous and should not be ignored. So you should look after yourself, taking your protection measures. And if there is one advice to put forward is please get vaccinated. One of the common questions for people is, well, everything has been pushed through really fast. Do we have enough data for safety? And the answer is that we have enough data for big organizations to go forward and say, please get vaccinated. So to date, more than 120,000 pregnant women have been vaccinated with one of the mRNA vaccines. The advice is look at the balance of risk. So what are the chances of a side effect and what are the chances of you getting seriously unwell if you do get COVID? So talking about side effects with the vaccines, what are the common side effects? Well, as with most vaccinations, some people will have some local irritation, redness, soreness in the arm that the vaccine was administered. In general, and talking about the Pfizer more specific, these side effects tend to be a little bit more intense with the second rather than the first dose. And this is something that you expect because your body now knows about COVID and will produce more strong reaction to the COVID antibodies, antigens. So let's put some perspective in numbers, yeah? If you do get COVID, especially in the third trimester of the pregnancy, in an unvaccinated mother, your chances of getting unwell is about 5%. So 1 in 20 women will end up in hospital being seriously unwell, requiring oxygen, requiring prolonged treatment, being away from her family and having a very rough time. From that 5%, roughly about 0.5% will get unwell to go to ICU, and this is a life-threatening situation. So at least in my mind, there is zero doubt for a pregnant mother to get vaccinated. The vaccines are effective and they are safe. You will hear a lot of people saying, yes, George, but we had a friend who was vaccinated and she still got COVID. Well, again, the vaccine is not stopping you getting COVID 100%. Where the vaccines have been really efficacious and successful is stopping you getting into hospital, stopping you getting in ICU, stopping you dying from COVID. You will see that the people that have the serious side effects have a tendency to be the unvaccinated crowd. We think that it's better to have the vaccine after the first trimester. So usually we do recommend for our mothers after the 12 weeks mark to get the COVID vaccine. The part of your pregnancy that you are at the highest risk is the third trimester, so we would like to get you there fully protected. Will it harm or will it benefit my baby in any way? So in terms of harm to the baby, the evidence for now is that we don't expect any problems from the baby. And if you think how the vaccines are working, what the vaccine will induce is for your body to create antibodies against COVID, similar to what would happen if you get COVID by itself, but without having the serious disease of having COVID. So the main thing that your baby may get from you is get antibodies, which will give some protection. As we said, with everything that we do is balance of risk. So think about the mothers that are dying from COVID. So we have very good data about what are all the bad things that can happen to you by getting COVID, to you and to your family. As I said, 1%, 0.5% of morbidity, basically young mothers dying, it's unacceptable in any society. And this is the tip of the iceberg, if you look at the rest of the people that have long-term problems from getting COVID. The way that the vaccines are working we're not anticipating any long-term effects in terms of your health. While we know already, seeing those people that had serious COVID on the past, that going through COVID, being unwell and recovery doesn't mean that you go back to 100%, and a lot of these people will have long-term problems. So look at the balance of risk, and the balance of risk is overwhelmingly in favor of mothers and people in general getting vaccinated against COVID. No, there is no evidence suggesting linkage with fertility problems, so this should not be something that stop you from having the vaccine. COVID is dangerous and should not be ignored, so you should look after yourself, taking your protection measures, and if there is one advice to put forward is please get vaccinated.